Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is LaShawn Wiley with another video for you guys. This is the science of managing, and today we are going to focus on funds that you can expect to receive from the COVID-19 virus that's shutting the United States down, that has shut the United States down pretty much completely, except for essential positions and employments out there. So let's get right into it. Unemployment benefits is a big topic right now because obviously with the shutdown, everyone basically lost their jobs or were furloughed overnight. So, and some people are just too scared to go to work if their company is still open because they don't want to catch the virus. So, however it applies to you and you need to file for unemployment, go ahead and file for unemployment, even if you quit, because this is one of those unique situations. Normally, if you quit a job, you can't file for unemployment. But with this COVID-19, even if you quit because you have to care for your kids, or you can't find daycare or childcare, et cetera, no school is in, they'll still allow you to file for unemployment due to COVID-related reasons. Okay, even if you quit your job. So that's one of the change-ups. With unemployment, a lot of people are having a hard time getting through because normally it's set up in a two-step process where first you can apply for the benefits, and secondly, you would have to do a phone interview. Now, with the application process, most people are doing the application online, but the phone interview was still being required, causing a lot of people stress because you can't get through. When you call the number to do that phone interview, a lot of people are being immediately disconnected, or it seems like it's going to go through and then the line says that it's just jam-packed, it's too busy, and then you're disconnected, telling you to call back. So on average, it's taking people around 200 to 250 calls to get through. So if you're in this situation, you're just going to have to keep calling until you get through. Now, I did hear either yesterday or today, not today, it was yesterday or the day before, that they were changing the requirements to where the phone interview would no longer be needed, and that second interview would be done online somehow, because the federal government is realizing that it's way too many calls coming in and they cannot handle the volume. I'm not sure if that has already taken place, but keep your ear to the ground to see if that's actually something that's taking place now, so that you don't have to keep trying to call. Okay. Now, unemployment benefits have been extended from 26 weeks originally to 13 weeks. Now, that base of 26 weeks will vary from state to state, because for a few states out there, the benefit program runs for less than 26 weeks, and a few out there run longer than 26 weeks. So, but a majority runs 26 weeks, and they extended that 13 additional weeks because of the COVID-19. Now, that's a total of 39 weeks of unemployment that you're able to receive right now because of what's going on, plus or minus a few weeks depending on where you live. And I actually have a chart for you to refer to, and you can see if you're in the state that runs longer or shorter. But as you can see, the blue is the regular blue, not the dark blue, but the regular blue is everyone who runs 26 weeks, which is a majority of our country. Now, along with the fraction of your weekly pay that you will be eligible for unemployment, because obviously unemployment will not pay you your whole check. They're going to pay you a fraction of what you make. The federal government is going to give you an additional $600 on top of that fractional pay that you're going to receive from unemployment. So in reality, you can actually wind up making exactly what you were making when you were employed, if not a little bit more, which is unbelievable for a lot of people, including Congress. Some members of Congress was really unhappy about this idea. saying that people would rather stay home and receive more money than actually work. But it went through because there was like a rush to get this through, and it went through as is. So like I said, in some situations you can actually make more money on unemployment than you were if you're actually working. Now, the stimulus check is another thing that a lot of people are excited about, and they're waiting for this money. This basically is free money that's going to come to tax-paying citizens of the U.S. It could be $1,200 for one individual, $24 for a married couple, and $600 for dependent children that you claim. Now, there is a cap, so if you're making over, I forgot how much it is. If you're making too much money, obviously you're not eligible to receive this money. Okay, but I want to say most people out there looking for this money will be eligible for it. Now, you have to be the funds that you make have to be earned income. So you have to be an earned income taxpayer in order to get this. So if you're receiving benefits, that's not earned income. Therefore, you will not be eligible for this stimulus check. So make sure you actually have earned income before you basically look for this check to come to you. Now, these checks will roll out sometime next week. And you'll be seeing them directly deposited to your account if you already have a direct deposit set up with the federal government. And most people who filed their taxes online already have the direct deposit set up, and this is how they set it up because they wanted their refund check to come directly to their checking account. Now, there is also a way for you to go to H&R Block and sign up or get your information over to the federal government so that you could get a direct deposit. If you didn't do one of these two things, you're going to get a paper check, and the paper checks are going to take a little time to come out. Okay, they're going to take weeks, if not months, to come out and come to your house. So direct deposit next week, paper checks in the next couple of weeks to next couple of months. Paycheck Protection Program was the other source of funds that the U.S. is giving out because of the COVID-19 crisis. And this applies to people who have small businesses with less than 500 employees. Now, you have to have a legitimate business. So this is a business that's set up like it's actually incorporated, or it has some type of limited liability company set up for it, an LLC set up for it. So if this is your own business that you run out of your garage and you never set up a business account and you never incorporate it, you don't qualify for this portion of it, okay? But basically, the government set up $350 billion to go to small businesses in the U.S. that's been struggling. And they actually have more money that they're trying to secure for small businesses. But as of right now, it's $350 billion. And a lot of people that have these small businesses are signing up for this loan like crazy. Okay, it came out last Monday, and the banks have struggled to keep up because it was rushed out there as well. And a lot of the banks didn't have information on how this program was supposed to work. So if you go to your bank, there is a chance that your bank will either say, we're not doing that program yet, or we don't have enough information, or we'll get back to you. They're going to probably give you the runaround because they were just caught flat-footed on this here. And the federal government really didn't give them detailed instructions on how these loans would apply to people and what the rules and parameters were in order to give these loans out. Because here's the kicker. These loans for the PPP, Paycheck Protection Program, can be forgiven and automatically turned into a grant that you wouldn't have to pay back as a business owner if you applied the funds, the right way. So if you have basically the government wants you to keep your employees on. So if you got a small business, let's say you have a daycare and you have 2 employees, they basically want you to be able to take this loan and keep those employees on, or at least be able to pay those employees while they're at home during this time of crisis. Okay. because they don't want you to let those people go. So when this all clears up, they want you to be able to open right back up without losing those employees. That's their whole plan. And by you paying them, it keeps them off the unemployment system that's already overran. So if you have set things up the way you should have, and you're an LLC that already have an existing business account with your bank, go to your bank, let them know you want to participate in a PPP loan program, which is like I said, it's the Paycheck Protection program, and you want that loan. Once they give you that loan and you apply that loan the right way, that loan will be converted to a grant and forgiven to where you won't have to pay it back. Now, some people are saying, well, what if I don't have any employees? What if it's just me? And what if I can't prove that I pay myself because I just take the profits, like most business owners do, especially if they're a sole proprietorship. If that's you, you can actually still participate in the PPP program. Okay, even though you're not replacing a paycheck, you're still in this program. You're still able to claim lost income and expenses. And now a lot of people don't know that part, but you can actually do that. And you'll just need to prove the income that you lost, and you can use income tax returns or bank statements to do this, to support your claim. Look, people, they're giving this money out. And basically, if you walk up and you have a business, a small business that's under 100 people, and you have a bank account where you can go to your bank and put your hand out and say, I need this money, and here's the proof that I have to show that I need this money, and that I'm justified in asking for this money, they will give you the money. That's assuming that the bank is still taking applications, because like I said, the banks are being overran. There's no incentive for the banks to give you this money because this is an SBA loan that's funded by the government. SBA is Small Business Association loan that's funded by the government. And they're only cooperating because they have a lot of small business owners who do business with them, and they don't want to lose those small businesses. So they have to cooperate, right? They're kind of in the corner here. So if you don't have a relationship with that bank, your local bank, they may not want to deal with you. But by law, I believe they have to deal with you if they are in a position to support and issue out SBA loans. Okay. I don't want to go too deep in the PPP, but if you have more questions on this program and how it works, and if you think you qualify, or if you're unsure if you qualify, go ahead and leave me a comment, because there's a lot of people out there that got small businesses. They have daycares, they have auto body shops, they have recording studios, they have photography businesses, and they actually qualify for this program, but they just don't have the information on how it works. So leave me comments. If you have any questions, I'll reply, because I know you're not the only person to have that question about it. Okay. And that's it. As far as the funds that are being distributed, there's one last thing I did want to touch on, and that's people who have money in the market in the way of a 401k, or in the way of stock market investments, like a brokerage account. Well, I'll start with the 401k, since that's top on the list here. Don't freak out if you have a 401k and you have seen your 401k balance disappear because of what's happening in the market. If you have 15, 20 years before you retire, even 10 years before you retire, don't panic. Don't make any adjustments. Let it ride. It will return. It will come back. If anything, figure out a way to contribute even more money to your 401k, because right now all the stocks and everything are on sale, especially if you're in your 401k and you're invested in stocks. Increase your contribution from maybe the standard 4% up to 10%. And if you can afford it, let it ride like that for the next year or so. That way you can pick up all these stocks at a discount. That would be my advice with the 401k. And once again, if you have questions on that, go ahead and leave me a comment, and I'll reply to that as well. As far as stock investment portfolios, if you have a brokerage account, you should already kind of know what you're doing. So I won't really say much on that, because if you don't know what you're doing right now, the market is so volatile, you could lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. But you can also make a lot of money if you do know what you're doing. So I'm going to just leave that kind of alone, other than to say right now is a good time to pick up some good bargains. Okay. If you have comments, go ahead and leave me a message and I'll get back with you. I want to leave you guys with this by saying succeed in life, no excuses. I know times are hard for a lot of people out there right now, but there's a lot of people figuring out how to succeed right now and make the most of this situation. I think you may be in a position to do so as well. You just probably don't know it. So that's what this video is for. Okay. Please subscribe. Please like. Please